Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. First off, before I even say anything, if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below. Pause the video and subscribe, please. Wanted to bring you guys in. I have my girls over today for a dinner sponsored by Eatsy's restaurant. Amazing food, almost like a market, super healthy, really good food. Had them sponsor Galentine's Day, a girls' dinner for me and my girls today. All types of food. I'm going to leave the link to the menu below. And then I also included you guys in some of the girl talk that we had during the video. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe. If there's something else that you want to see or more conversations like this with my friends, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you guys have any feedback with the conversation that we had, any advice to give others, anything that anyone will benefit off or questions you have, leave them in the comments below. Thank you. Peace. Hey channel. Hey guys. A lot of people were asking, because we were talking about something at Brittany's house about how important it is to have godly relationships or like friendships. Like as you get older, you realize the importance of the people you connect to, and just that it matters. Like everything about everybody matters at this point in age and life. So does anyone have, like, what does it mean to you guys? Like, at what age did you realize that it mattered? Or, what was the turning point when you realized, okay, every single connection, everybody who I, allow in my space, like, it needs to be right. And I can't afford to waste time, having, like, fruitless connections and things like that.
I think, like, I used to have, when I first got in, because I wasn't, like, raised in the church, like, solid, like, raised in the church. So then when I started going to church as an adult, and I have friends that like went to church every Sunday, and then I have friends that like that just wasn't their thing. And I have one friend in particular, like it was almost like once I joined church and I was going through my new members, like it was like a joke to her, like here's your things, like oh here's your stupid stuff, and it was like my new members packets and my books and all that stuff, and it just like hit me because it's just like you can't, like she thought it was all stupid, and this was a new journey for me, and this is something I took seriously. And she didn't take it seriously. And I think at that point, I just was kind of like, it's hard when you're on a new journey, when somebody's over here and you're trying to do something different, and you're trying to change, like, and you just kind of like, I feel like if you don't have people in your life that are on the same page or want the same things, like it's easy to like go back and forth. Because I caught myself doing that sometimes. It's like, okay, like when I'm over here, I'm this, and when I'm over here, I'm this, and when I'm with her, I'm downplaying what I want from God and what I want from the church and what I'm seeking for, because I felt empty, but I'm downplaying that because I want to hang out with her. So it's like, I think you have to find people that are on the same path, so you're not downplaying like.
And then you
what
think
your
about it later as well,
is.
and you're like, once you get home and you're by yourself, you're like, I should have never done that. That was never like in my plans. That did not match where I want to be and all that kind of stuff. And if you like have to go home and like contemplate or feel guilty for anything that you've done, or the people that you're around, or even the conversation that you participated in, and I still struggle with that to this day, even just trying to be nice, and not really seclude yourself to like a certain group, but sometimes you have to do that because you'll find yourself in conversations where it's like, how did I even get to this point? Like this is going down a rat hole, like it's talking about people, and you have to literally claw yourself out of a conversation. So where it's like, I should have never even accepted this invitation. You know what I mean?
For me, it was reciprocity. Like, you're not really adding to me, and I can't really add to you, then what are we really doing here? And I mean, everybody's at a different space in their spiritual journey. Like, I don't really say, like, if you're not, all the way there in your spiritual life, that we can't kick it, that we can't be cool. Like, that's never really been me. But at the same time, you have to be at least a point of saying, I see better for myself, and I want to do greater things. And this is how I envision my future, and have some kind of a vision and a goal. A lot of times, sometimes people are just looking to connect, like you said, with this, it's kind of fruitless. Like, let's just talk about what's happening in the world, but no real substance. And that just, at a certain age, it gets boring. It's like, okay, we went out and we talked about nothing, but like, why was I even there? Like, what was the point? It becomes annoying, especially when you're growing and you're evolving. I mean, and everybody goes does that at different rates, of
Well,
course.
and then you eventually start feeling out of place too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
even like you're just uncomfortable, like it just doesn't feel right. And if that starts to happen, I feel like that is your like clear sign as to like this is not it. Like I need to be in a different conversation.
Yeah.
And even sometimes like with our conversations, like you need to be around people where it's like, oh, I wish I was like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or I wish I was that strong to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And if you can't say that about any of your friends, then it's
Why are they
not
your friends?
Yeah, why are they
Yeah.
your
Like,
friends?
Yeah, that's what it was for me. Like coming here, you know, I have like my friends back home, but coming here, I'm like, what do I want? What do I want for myself? Like who, first of all, I was trying to figure out who I was
Right.
and like what was important to me. And I knew that God and like knowing Jesus and becoming closer to him was so important to me. And like how to do that, I knew that I had to be around people who that was important to them as well. Like that had to be at the forefront for me because it was like if I'm around people who are distracted,
You have no other option but
I
to
have
be
no other
distracted
option
too. Yeah.
than to be. I'm either gonna be by myself or I'm gonna be distracted too. So
I kind of
that's how
feel
it
like,
was for me.
I kind of feel like in situations like that, like sometimes we do outgrow people and sometimes we outgrow our friendships, but I feel like in a sense, God will place you or keep that person in your life as your assignment.
Yeah.
Like that person is merely just your assignment.
Yeah.
So granted, I have like outgrown you or I feel like like I'm building this relationship with God and this is my main focus. This is what I'm going to do right now. So either you're with it or you're not. But I feel like at the end of the day, like you shouldn't necessarily give up on those people because they could be your assignment, or it could just be that person that you're just like, look,
This
This
is
and God will
Nowhere
make it
to
very
be.
clear. Like,
You don't
it's
have
done.
to do anything to force it. It'll just
You
kind of
know,
happen. It just
exactly.
kind of falls apart, and neither party really wonders why, but it's just kind of understood.
Yeah.
Like, you're not bringing anything to my life. I'm not really bringing anything to your life, and we're not growing together.
Right.
And that goes with both kind of relationships, with friendships and with,
romantic relationship.
romantic relationships.
Agreed. And I feel like that's the easy way, or that's the way. If we don't let it go that way, that's when it gets nasty. You know what I mean? Because I feel like in some cases, God's like, so I keep telling you to let this person go
Sign
and
after
move on.
sign.
I tried to make it peaceful. Now I'm going to have to let something happen to where, I'm going to have to force a separation.
Serious. Like,
Well,
I
and
cannot
I think
think of a
too,
time
like
that-
I know we've talked about this, and I've talked about this with my boyfriend too. Like when people talk about their haters, like I don't understand that because I'm just like, you don't like I feel
You're
like
giving it-
you don't really
feeding
like
it.
yeah,
Right,
you're
that
feeding
shouldn't
it,
be
and
your
you don't really
focus.
like you've never focused on that. So you like even if I had a hater, like I wouldn't even know.
Exactly.
Like,
That's
that's
what
how
I'm
it goes. Like, it's just
Oh,
like,
okay. Bless your heart. Like,
Cause it's like I don't put any focus on any of that. So even if I had a hater, I wouldn't even know about it because it's irrelevant to me. So it's like, what is a hater?
And God has done and been too much for me to even feed into anything.
legit. Like,
I feel like if I even talked about it, God would be like, really, of all the things.
You want to talk about a hater?
Like,
Right.
of all things.
Yeah.
But I feel like that comes with growth. Like, that comes with growth, like, tremendously. Because me, speaking for myself, Jesus he came in my life and pushed in ways that I could not explain. Because even last year, was that last year or the year before? It might have been. My attitude was
Last
bad.
year.
Yeah, my attitude was bad, and there would never be a
Trish was like,
time.
last year.
Like, I know you're very like.
That's how you got her close friend.
I'm very proud of her.
My attitude was like bad, and you couldn't tell me anything, say anything to me, and I'd just be like, okay, like whatever. Like Patricia like came to me and she just like, look, I'm gonna be your friend. I'm gonna tell you like it is. This may ruin our friendship, it may not, but I'm not a real friend if I don't tell you the truth. And she
That's a
broke me
fact.
down. She told me the truth. I cried, and we didn't talk for like a couple of months. And then we came back, and I told her, I was like, I found God. I have confidence within myself now. I have Godfidence. There we go. difference. Like when you have that within yourself and you build a relationship with God, it's like nothing that anybody says, nothing that anybody does, like it won't affect you.
Or the
because you're
thoughts
like,
that the devil or the enemy will put in your mind, and you'll be like,
exactly.
no way, like that's not true.
That's all.
You know, you're not even about to ruin any parts over here.
Yeah, because I definitely took a chance in our friendship because I was pretty sure we was never gonna talk again, but I felt like it needed to be said. Like I felt like the way that she was acting, like I don't feel it wasn't what she needed to be doing, and it wasn't what she needed.
It wasn't you.
It's just like it just. I was just like her being like that. Like I'm just like she's not going to grow, and I had to take that chance. Like I was like I gotta let you know, and it was for her friendship too. But it also was like I was in Texas and I was in a different space, and I'm just like, look, like I'm in a different space. Like, and if that's how you're gonna come down here, don't come.
Yeah.
And you literally,
I was like, don't
exactly
come. I was like, I'll catch you when I come home. Like that's what it is. Like I'll see you when I come home. Like,
but
and
that
I
also
knew,
comes with your growth and you learning how, because you probably didn't always know how to protect your space like that, and you had to.
And
say,
I didn't always know how to like
can't.
communicate, like in a confident way. Like it was always kind of like beating around the bush. Well, maybe this, maybe that, and it's just kind of like nah, like just say it, and it is what it is. Like, and I feel like you know, and we've been friends for a long time, and I feel like you know, like we've had moments where we're like really really strong, but I feel like now we're like strong and we like are on the same path and we're going the same ways, and I'm very proud of her. But I feel like if that conversation didn't happen and I didn't take that chance on our friendship, like I don't know if we would be where we at now, because I could have easily just stopped talking to her, because we've done that in the past, just stopped talking to each other. You know what I mean? It could have went that way, but I was just like, no, like, because it was for me, it was beyond just my own space too. It was just like, you need to grow as a person. And I've always told her, like, if you cannot voice how you feel to a friend, that is not a friend.
Right.
Yeah.
I should be able, no matter what I'm saying to you, like I should be able to say something to you, and that'd be it. Like I shouldn't be afraid to say something to you. I shouldn't be scared to. Even if I'm telling you about yourself.
Walking on eggshells is not the business.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like I've always told her, like if you are not able to speak to somebody and voice yourself and tell how you feel, like that is not your friend. And so like it was beyond me. Like it was beyond just my space. Like I just knew like that just wasn't where she needed to be. She needed to like figure it out.
And that's the point of growth. The growth is not for yourself. It's to then share it with others. Like that's why, you know, that's why we learn. That's why we're on this journey.
That's why we go through what we go through. And it's so not just for ourselves. And I say that with everything. And I mean, you almost have to remind yourself, even like in the small situations, like this is not for me. Like, you know, this is not where I want to be right now. This is not what I want to do. But God, I know every single thing you bring in my life is for me to share with somebody else. Like this is not my own. Like my life is not my own. And if you remind yourself of that, then you're like, okay, you always think I'm taking it for the team. I'm taking it. Always, like everything I go through is like I'm taking one for the team, because someone else is going to need this, and someone else is going to be able to eliminate this process or this, you know, concept or whatever it is in their life, because I'm able to share and tell.
And you'll be surprised at what happens when you sow those seeds. How things come back in alignment in your own life, and you're not sowing the seeds to see. Exactly. Like you're not sowing the seeds to like bring glory to yourself. You're sowing the seeds to bring glory to God, and to also show people like this is what real love looks like. That is really why I love God, because that is just pure love. Like it's not like oh, God is like the man in the sky. Like it's not that kind of relationship. At least not my personal relationship with God. It is. If you ever want to feel like you are loved completely, wholly, fully, that's God's love. And that's what I'm urging people toward. And when you're sowing those seeds, people come out of the woodwork and ask me about the most random things. And I mean, I assume that God put them on my path, and it's like, okay, well, this is why I think this way, and this is what life has shown me, and this is how it's happened. And I mean, the seeds always bear fruit. And in the most random times, you know, you might not be expecting it. It might not be when you think it'll happen. Or the way you thought it would. But they always bear fruit when you're sowing good seeds. Always. Always.
I mean, Tracy's life is life's changed dramatically since then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we're happy to have you.
here.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about, like, because wait, who's been here the longest? Britt, you've been here the longest.
I think so.
You've been here, what, like 5 years?
5 years.
5
What?
years? So 5
Share
years,
some of your
2.5.
2. I've been here for 2.
1.
I've been here permanently
1
for
year,
2.
Jean?
Yeah, it was 1 year, and it was 1 year, January 3rd.
Yeah, because we met last February.
I was here January 8th.
It's our anniversary, G.
I probably still have the text of like when we got
Legit.
together.
How did you guys meet?
My, our frat brother, Paul, texted me and was like, I have a friend moving there. He's like, don't be shady. I'm really funny about who comes in my space. Now, that's something I'm not going to lie about. Like, I am not just befriending people just off the strength. Like, I got to see what your energy is like because I'm not in need of additional friends. So, I have plenty and it's fine. And so he's like, don't be shady. Like, you'll really like her. He was like, she is like super cool. So I was like, okay. And then we hung out and we hit it off immediately.
We were there for like way longer than we were supposed to.
Way longer because we both had something else to do and we were like, oh God, we gotta go. We went to Freebirds. We went somewhere like super chill, but like I asked her if she liked Chipotle and she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so you'll definitely like Freebirds.
Yeah.
And then Melissa, you and G met how?
We met, so like I had lived here because my parents moved here like back in 2012, 2013. But I was back and forth between multiple places. So I had moved here permanently like 2.5 years ago. And literally like when I had permanently moved here, I was at like this networking event and like trying to meet people. And I was super nervous because my other friend was supposed to come with me and she like
Supposed to move with you?
No, my friend
Supposed to come with her to the event?
Like, to the event, and she couldn't come for whatever reason. So I was like, oh no, like I don't want to go by myself. And I had sat in there, talked to people, and I was on my way out. And Jiva was like with another group of girls, and I don't know what made me stop and talk. I think it was Jiva because she was just like so cute. Like she had like,
Did you know?
She has an energy about her, and so when I walked out, no. So when I walked out, I was just like, oh hi, and so we met there, and like I feel like I was kind of the shady one at first, cause like we had like a group chat, and like they'd be like, hey, we're gonna go here, and I like whatever is fun.
Hey, guess Melissa doesn't like us. Bye.
And so I think that happened for like a month maybe, and then I saw her at like another event that I had gone to by myself, and she was with other girls, and I was like, oh hey, like do you remember me?
See, I need to grow to that because I was not going to an event by myself. Nobody's coming with me. Then I'm Also, if you guys have any feedback with the conversation that we had, any advice to give others, anything that anyone would benefit off, or questions you have, leave them in the comments below. Thank you.